You have an emotion that you feel regularly. Perhaps every single day. But you have almost certainly never named it directly to another person. And almost certainly never named it directly to yourself. Not because you are dishonest. Because this emotion comes wrapped in a layer of shame so heavy that simply saying its name feels like admitting something unflattering about who you are. The emotion is envy. And I'm asking you to sit with the discomfort of that word for just a moment. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it brings up shame. I know part of you wants to look away or push it down. But I'm right here with you. I see you. I'm right here with you. Take a gentle breath with me. You are safe. The envy you feel is not evidence of the thing you fear it reveals. It is not proof that you are a bad person. It is not proof that you are inadequate or broken. It is not proof that you are selfish or ungrateful. It is something far more interesting, far more human, and far more useful than that. Today I'm going to walk with you gently through what envy really is, why it hurts so much, why it hides so deeply, and the one hopeful truth that can finally turn it from a source of shame into a quiet map that points you toward what you truly want. We're going to take this slowly and kindly together. If anything feels heavy, just pause the video and breathe. You're safe here. I see you. I'm right here with you. Envy is not jealousy. Jealousy is the fear of losing something you already have to someone else. Envy is the pain of seeing someone else have something you want and do not have. It is the specific, uncomfortable, sometimes secretly sharp feeling that arises when you encounter another person's success, beauty, love, talent, status, or ease, and the gap between what they have and what you have hurts in a way that feels directed at both them and at yourself. And the reason envy is hidden more deeply than almost any other negative emotion is this: it feels like an admission. Admission that you wanted something. That you did not get it. And that someone else having it hurts you in a way that feels like it says something unflattering about your character. So it goes underground. It gets disguised as criticism, as indifference, as I'm not impressed by them, or their success was just luck. But what goes underground does not disappear. It finds other ways to express itself. And those ways often hurt you more. But here is the gentle truth I want you to hold from the very beginning. The envy you feel is not evidence of your inadequacy. It is a map of your deepest wants. It is pointing directly at the places where you are most alive to possibility. And maps are meant to be followed, not hidden. Let me show you the difference between envy and jealousy, because understanding this distinction brings so much clarity and relief. Jealousy is a threat-based emotion. It says, I have something I value, and I'm afraid of losing it to someone else. It is triangular: you, the thing you have, and the rival. Envy is a deprivation-based emotion. It says, I want something I do not have, and seeing someone else have it hurts. It is about the gap. And because it feels like a direct reflection on you, on your own lack, your own desire, your own not enough, it carries far more shame than jealousy ever does. That shame is what keeps envy so secret. But the shame is not the truth. The shame is the story we have been taught to tell about the want. Now let me show you the 5 ways envy shows up in our lives and why it feels so painful. First, envy often arrives as a quiet comparison. You see someone's success, their ease, their relationship, their body, their talent, and the gap feels personal. It feels like they're having it highlights you're not having it. You scroll past their post and feel a little twist in your stomach. Second, it shows up as a subtle criticism. I'm not impressed by them, or they don't deserve that, or it must be easier for them. These are not honest opinions. They are envy wearing a disguise so it doesn't have to be named. Third, it shows up as schadenfreude, that small, secret relief when the person you envy has a setback. That relief feels shameful, so we push it down even further. Fourth, it shows up in the way we shrink ourselves. We downplay our own dreams because seeing someone else live them makes our own feel too painful. We tell ourselves it's not that important anyway. Fifth, it shows up as exhaustion. Constant comparison is mentally and emotionally draining. And the worst part is that most of us carry this alone. But you do not have to carry it alone anymore. You are allowed to feel envy. You are allowed to name it gently to yourself. And you are allowed to learn from it instead of judging yourself for it. Here is what research tells us about who we envy and why. We do not envy people who are vastly different from us or in domains we do not care about. We envy people who are similar enough to us that the comparison feels relevant. People who are just a little ahead in the exact areas we deeply value. The person you envy is not random. They are a mirror showing you what you want for yourself. Your envy is a map. It is pointing toward your own aspirations. The creative person you envy is showing you how important creativity is to you. The person in a loving relationship you envy is showing you how much you long for that kind of connection. The person with the career success you envy is showing you how much that kind of recognition matters to you. Envy is not your enemy. It is your compass. And once you stop judging yourself for feeling it, you can start following where it points. Social media has made envy more constant and more painful than at any other time in history. It shows us only the highlight reels of other people's lives. It is curated, filtered, and algorithmically designed to trigger comparison. Every scroll becomes a new opportunity for envy. And because it is constant, the pain becomes ambient. It sits in the background of your days. But you can begin to protect yourself. You can notice when envy arises. You can name it gently to yourself, this is envy. And you can ask the kind question, what is this envy trying to tell me about what I want? That single question begins to turn the pain into direction. The envy you feel is not evidence that you are insufficient. It is evidence that you are alive to possibility. It is evidence that there are things you deeply want. And wanting is not a flaw. Wanting is human. Wanting is the beginning of movement. So the next time envy arrives, try this gentle practice. Pause. Breathe. Name it softly to yourself, this is envy. Then ask with kindness, what specifically do I want that this person has? And then ask the hopeful question, what is one small step I could take toward that want? You do not need to have the whole path. You only need to take one step. That step turns envy from a source of shame into a source of motivation. And motivation is hope in motion. You are not a bad person for feeling envy. You are a person with a heart that still wants beautiful things. And that wanting is worth following. The envy you feel is not the problem. The shame you carry about feeling it is what keeps the pain alive. When you stop shaming yourself for the envy itself begins to soften. It becomes information instead of condemnation. It becomes a guide instead of a judge. You deserve to feel free in your own mind. You deserve to stop carrying this shame alone. You deserve to know that your wants are valid. And you deserve to move toward them with love and clarity. The next video brings together everything we have explored in this series, every hidden pattern, every psychological mechanism, every dark territory and every possibility for healing, and asks the question it has all been leading toward. What does it actually look like to live well, given everything we now know about how human beings really work? I can't wait to share that with you. If this video brought you even a little relief or clarity, please hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We are walking this path together. And if there is someone in your life who is quietly carrying the weight of envy and shame, share this video with them. Sometimes the kindest thing we can do is hand someone the words that finally set them free. You were never bad for wanting. You were never insufficient for feeling envy. You have a beautiful, alive heart that still hopes for more. And that hope is worth protecting. That hope is worth following. Take care of that hopeful heart of yours. It has carried enough shame. You are safe. You are good. And you are not alone.